broke from their welds. So it's basically impossible to retrieve the bolts from those nuts, and we had to cut into it. So I'm gonna show you what we did, and then I'm gonna talk to you about how we can fix that. All right, so as you can see here, we removed the rear seats. All you gotta do, there's a couple bolts here and there, and you can pull them out. But so cutting this hole, you gotta be very specific with where you cut. You got wires in the way on both sides, and unfortunately for us, we had both nuts break. Well, almost all the nuts break on both sides. But I basically pulled this wire out of the way. I got a hole cutter. It's about 2.5 inches wide, just a basic Milwaukee metal hole cutter. And I took it, kind of figured out where they were from the bottom, and I assumed that they're not super close to this hole, but the back two are about right here, about here or so, and then the front one is about underneath this bracket right here. So I just cut through it all, make sure to clear the lines out of the way, and you can actually see in there, oh, there's one. Oh, sorry, there's a second one right there, you can kind of see barely, and then the other one is right up there. But we're gonna take our angle grinder, come out here from the bottom, and cut the bolts that are holding this bracket up. So let's get to that. So I was looking at the bracket from underneath the car, and there was no way I was gonna be able to get at it with an angle grinder. Maybe some people have been able to do it, but I didn't feel comfortable with the angles that I was having to cut at. So I took not the angle grinder, I took the trailing arm out, but I had to cut off the bolt that was holding it in because that was seized up. But we are completely free of a trailing arm now, as you can see right there. And now I just gotta take the angle grinder and cut off these, the heads of these bolts, and then we'll put the new trailing arm in with the same exact bracket, and then also clean it all up. But we're gonna go do the other side as well and get that all dressed up also. All right, so we finally got the bracket cut out, and it took quite a lot of grinding away at these bolts. So if you ever have to do this, the hardest one is going to be this front one. You're going to want to try and get these back two out, and then attack this one by moving this around, because they're going to get torn up. But we got one out. Well, hopefully we can get the second one out, and then we can hopefully throw the lift kit on and be done with this problem. All right, so it's finally a new day, and we're back to working on the trailing arms. So as you saw earlier in the video, I took a hole cutter, cut the holes out, and we grinded off the old trailing arms, which are actually these right here. I painted them white just to help with corrosion and stuff. But so here is the lift kit spacer that is on it. It's a Subaru Forester 3-inch rear spacer. And so how we're gonna do this is I had to go out and buy some new nuts to go inside the body, and I got a washer for that. And then on the other half that goes below the car, we have a washer and then a locking washer. So basically what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go set it underneath the car, and I'm gonna crank it down with an impact. And since I don't plan on taking this kit off or doing anything else with the car besides lifting it and maybe a few other things, we're gonna throw some permanent Loctite on this and call it a day. So let's get to that. All right, so we're under the car, and we got the trailing arm mounting holes right up here. And since the nuts broke off inside, my buddy Cole is going to be holding the nuts and washers in place up through the body, and I'm gonna thread them in. And then once we get them all threaded in, I'm gonna back one out, and he's gonna throw some Loctite on it, and then we're gonna send it with the impact and then do the other ones. So I'm gonna try and get this on camera, but my tripod's being a little goofy today, so hopefully it doesn't fall down while we're doing this. But let's get to it. Booyah, booyah, booyah. All right, so we're on the other side now, and thankfully only one of the nuts broke from the tack welds. So all we gotta do is put one new nut in, and then the existing ones, hopefully they don't break from their welds. But if they do, then we'll just pull them out, cut them, and then put all new nuts on. But hopefully we don't have to do that. So let's get to that. All right, so as you can see, we have the other side on. There's the bracket, there's the lift kit, new bolts going all the way into the frame. Everything went on perfectly, no issues at all, which I am super glad about. But now we're just gonna finish up mounting the emergency brake cable. So there's this L-shaped bracket right here, and that'll just screw right into here with a little bolt. So for a quick example, all it does is this, looks just like that, and then goes right into there with the bolt. So I couldn't quite film myself installing this. My tripod on my camera was acting up, but it's just pretty simple. L bracket right there, hooks on to the trailing arm bracket right there. Just a simple little bolt there, and just tighten her down, and then your e-brake cables are mounted. And for the other side, it's exactly the same thing, so I'm not gonna film that, but I'm gonna go knock that out real quick. All right, so that will finally conclude this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or any comments, go ahead and leave them below, and I'll get back to you, and I'll try and help you out as much as I can. I've been diving into this super deep, and I've looked over everything that could be looked over, so I would love to extend my help to anyone that needs it. But stay tuned for the future videos to come. We got the knuckles coming, and then we'll be throwing on all of our new trailing arms and everything else. And also the front bearings as well, and then our brake kit. So have a good day, and we'll see you later.